Hello and welcome to another episode of Wemar Tech Tips. Today we're going to be talking about the AAR eSign capability. A lot of realtors use eSign or its counterpart DocuSign, but eSign is free for you to use. You already paid for it with your dues. So without further ado, let's look at the steps involved to use eSign. In 5 easy steps, you initiate a signing session, then you identify the recipients of the email, upload the documents that are to be signed, add the signature and date locations, and then finally you get to preview the documents before you send them off. To get to eSign, you go to eSignonline.net. If you don't already have an ID, go through the steps to make yourself one. I'm at the logon screen and I'm just going to sign in. Okay, once you're signed in, you're going to see a screen similar to this. I have several documents out here already, but the procedure is 5 easy steps. We're going to start with a new signing session and identify the transaction. I'm just going to type in buyer broker agreement. Sometimes I copy that and use it as my session title, and this time I'm going to just call it a test session. Identify it, and then we just hit next. That just starts a session. Now we need to add who's going to be signing in this session, and Henry's third cousin is a fictitious name. I'm going to send it to myself. So I identified the name. So that becomes the addressee. We've gone the second step now. I hit next. We come to the third session, and I'm going to say upload the documents. Add files from the local disk. I went into zip forms and I created a real estate agency disclosure and a buyer broker agreement. So I'm going to take these two and add them to the session. And now I need to pick out who they're going to. And these names in the drop-down list can come from the address book, or you can key them in on the fly with another address up here where I'm scribbling. But I've already defined Henry, so I click next again. And I get a little warning, but that's okay. I'm going to pick both of these documents and then say next to go to the add signing locations. For the most part, when you take stuff from the AAR library, it will find and identify which locations you need to fill in at your third end. And when they don't, you just grab the icon up here for the signature, drag it and drop it in place. I'm going to do the same thing with time, and delete these two because they would be used in the office. And I'm going to go down to the real estate agency disclosure, and I'm going to add a signature for that document as well with a date and time, and they're now done. I click next, and the system's going to let me preview these. So this is what the document's going to look like when it gets to your addressee. A couple of spots to sign. I click next, and I'm off to the final screen, which says whatever it is you're addressing to your receiver. I just wrote a note to myself, and really that's it. Click finish and the documents go off. That person will get an email and it'll appear in their inbox. I'm going to go over to my own email and see if it's there yet. And I've got an eVite signing session. So if I open up that document, this is what your recipient is going to see. And all I have to do is click review and sign, and off you go. And that's all there is to it.